Howdy y'all, I'm taking a look at the Dreamcast again. I want to play more Quake III Arena, but I don't really want to play with a controller. I want to play with a keyboard and mouse. And while I don't own, a keyboard that's compatible here with the Dreamcast, I do have a lot of USB keyboards. So I ordered a bunch of parts and we're going to try to make a USB to Dreamcast adapter. All right, let's just get this stuff out of the way. So I have enough stuff here to make two. So I'm going to use one for a keyboard and one for a mouse. You could also use one for a keyboard, one for like a VMU, because basically this just like, uses USB. And all the components that we are going to need, or at least parts wise, is one of these USB-C to USB-A adapters, this RP2040 clone, and the Dreamcast controller cable. So what we're going to do is we're just going to, put this together like that. And then we're going to solder a couple of wires like this onto here, flash some firmware on that to make it a controller, and essentially this will allow us to just plug into the Dreamcast and have USB control. We're going to be using the USB4MAPLE project. So we're going to split a couple cables, figure out what color is associated with what pin, and that'll tell us where we need to solder. So first I'm going to snip this here, and now we have a whole bunch of exposed wires. I'm just going to run a couple of continuity tests to make sure I have the right pins associated with where they are on here. That way I can label them properly. I would still recommend you trying to check continuity yourself if you're going to do this, because who knows if these wires are actually going to correspond with every Dreamcast replacement cable, at least color-wise. Start with green here. Let's figure out which one green is. Okay, looks like green's going to be pin number 4. Blue is 3. Orange is 2, which is the 5 volts, it seems. Red is 1, which means white should be 5. Yep. So white is 5. That's what we should be needing. So I have my reference. Now comes the soldering. 14's right there, so that's where red's gonna go. 15 is directly above that. That's where white will be. Then all the other pins are gonna be up here. So the very top one, that's our 5 volt, which is also the V-bus one. That one will get orange. And right below that is ground. That one's gonna get both green and blue. I mean, I could also alternatively just not connect green, but we'll see what we do. So we're just gonna start from here and make our way over there. I want the cable facing this way. Pre-tinning everything right here. Well, this should be all we need. I want to make sure we have no shorts. Let's do another continuity test. Okay, we're looking pretty good. No beeps. So now I guess comes firmware time. For this, we're going to need a USB cable that can transfer data. And I'm going to download the latest firmware. Now it says to flash this, what you're going to want to do is hold down the boot button whenever you plug it in. There we go. Now that shows up. We'll unzip the firmware file. I have it here on a different folder. And we'll just drag this over there. Boop, copy. That installs, and it should disconnect itself according to the wiki. Otherwise, that should be it. And the reason why we have this dongle right here is just so we can use USB-A on it. Now I imagine I could probably 3D print like a little case for this, but I'm just going to leave it like it is for the time being. Now, not only will this work with like, keyboards and mice, but it can also work for a bunch of different modern controllers too. So why don't we try that out real quick? Well, I got the Dreamcast powered on. It's asking for the time. So let's see if we can use this Xbox Series controller in order to interface with this. Okay, so don't do this. Don't unplug or plug in any controllers into the ports while the console's powered on. Apparently doing so will basically just short your controller board and then none of your controllers would work. And now I'm going to need to fix this thing, but I'll explain more of that later. Give me some trouble. For some reason it's not providing power to the controller. We're gonna start this out pretty simple. We're just gonna use a Series X controller on this. Not looking so great at the start. Let's try this DualShock. There we go. Okay, cool, it works. I guess the Xbox controller wasn't working, probably because it didn't have any batteries in it. I wonder if it just needs a little bit extra power in order to run. It's probably not providing enough power on that. Oh no, oh, dang it. Well, we know it works though. I'm gonna go build the second one off camera and then we can try doing a keyboard and a mouse combo. Well, the second one has now been built, so I got my keyboard here, my mouse here. Let's see if we can play some Quake 3. It sees the mouse already. Cool, recognizes the scroll wheel too. The keyboard doesn't seem to be working. Mouse is working, keyboard is not. I wonder if it's a cable problem here with this 8-bit do cable, or I wonder if it's probably that cable. We're gonna power off because I don't want to unplug anything, because last time I unplugged something from the Dreamcast, I ended up frying the controller port board, so I'm gonna have to fix another Dreamcast in a different video. But we can at least try one more time with this. Let's use a different cable. I know this one's good for data. Doesn't appear this keyboard is compatible. Let's try my actual gaming keyboard, which is this glorious one. Nope, not liking this one either. Makes me wonder if it's a problem with the adapter. So let me just try swapping these two real quick. So it isn't a problem with the keyboard, it's a problem with this adapter. It's sending power, but it doesn't seem to be sending the inputs properly. I guess there's something wrong with this. Let me try refreshing the firmware on there. There we go, just had to reflash it. So now, yep, that works. Oh, and that works. Okay, cool. For a second I was getting scared because it wasn't taking that. I have a feeling it probably wasn't taking the mouse input because I already used that one to connect a controller. So I was probably thinking this was supposed to be a controller when it's actually a mouse. That would be my guess at least. But let's just do a single player game real quick. Ooh, this feels good. I mean, like, granted, I don't have like the best mouse here, but Oh, that's responsive. I could actually play this. I'm having a hard time kind of seeing things myself because the angle at which I'm having to watch this at, but that's not jump. Okay, that's just zoom in apparently. You're gonna change that and then, okay, we got rid of zoom. Okay, cool. Yay, now we can jump. All right, cool. Now we have some action. Okay, cool. Oh, you can't really strafe in this. Circle strafing is not as intuitive as I would like it to be. I could really use some health. Oh no. Ah, no, no. You got a shotgun? No, no. Oh no. Oh no, it was best of 5. Oh, dang it. I did better with the other adapter. But hey, now I have 2 adapters, so I could use whatever kind of controllers I want. So I don't necessarily need this Total Control Plus adapter anymore, which is good considering the one I had from the previous video, I kind of broke it. Yeah, I tried getting inside to see what was in there, and there was a strip screw, and I kind of just broke it. You can see the botch job I did there to fix it. I bought another one though. If you want to see an actual repair on this though, let me know, because I need to get around to actually fixing this thing. The box on this says something down here, which I didn't know until today. Inserting a controller into the Dreamcast console when it is turned on may damage the console, which is true. I absolutely destroyed the controller port on this Dreamcast. Yeah, that little fuse right there. Yeah, that little fuse right there got blown. So I'm gonna be needing to fix this in the future, but gotta get the parts for that first. But hey, at least now I have these 2 working adapters for whenever I do get that other Dreamcast working, but I should probably give this one back to my friend. That's gonna be it for now though. So long, y'all.